Bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sport, music, entertainment news, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital app in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital app.
Mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Alhamisi tarehe 14 Novemba, msafara wetu utang'oa nanga Thika, maeneo ya Times Tower, Ruiru, Kimbo, Kenyatta Road, Juja Wetevye, Jomoko, Gatitu, Thika mjini, Engen, Makongeni na Kisii Estate. Kisha tutatembelea maeneo ya Juja Road, Eastleigh, Shauri Moyo, Majengo, Bahati, Kariobangi, Fedha, Pipeline, Kayole, Dandora, Mwiki, Kasarani, Roysambu, Githurai, Kahawa West na Zimmerman. Ijumaa tarehe 15 Novemba mwaka 2024. Jumamosi tarehe 16 Novemba tutakuwa Kangemi, Odhiru, Kinoo, Wangige, Kikuyu, Dagoretti, Satellite, Nairobi West, South C, South B, Ngong Road, Kibera, Karen, Ngong na Rongai. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Are you looking for a brand-growing outdoor advertising with beautiful simplicity and an artistically inspired choice? Look no further. Our 40 years of credible reputation and experience will give you exceptional brand traction.
They took us away from our homeland, carried us across the sea, put up on the plantation, pan program.
Kenkinski, wekula kitu weka kando, shida zako zote za siku ja.
We are located at Corner Plaza, 4th floor on Parklands Road. TikTok. Get your brand on the talk with City Clock. Do you have a complaint, or is something just not adding up with your pension scheme? It's easy to file a complaint directly with the Retirement Benefits Authority, and it's absolutely free. Just visit www.complaints.rba.go.ke and follow the prompts to file your complaint. RBA will acknowledge your complaint within 7 working days. Your complaint will be reviewed and addressed within 30 working days. Your time and peace of mind are important, and anyone dissatisfied with a decision of RBA can appeal to the Independent Retirement Benefits Appeals Tribunal. RBA is here to listen and resolve your complaint promptly, because your retirement should be stress-free. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800 720 300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Good evening from wherever you're watching this live broadcast from Nairobi, Kenya and beyond. Thank you so much for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you tonight. A number of stories covered ground for you this evening, including the very latest from Baku, Azerbaijan, where the Conference of Parties 29 is currently ongoing. This is Prime Edition. Our top stories tonight.
A time is coming when we'll ask everybody to validate their membership in Azimio and expand. Others come, others leave.
Banking on Mount Kenya spoiled votes. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka now dares ODM to leave Azimio as his allies hint at a coalition with the Mount Kenya region. Calling it a day. United States Ambassador to Kenya Meg Whitman resigns after 2 years stint in the country. Polio immunization drive comes to an end even as it falls short of its target, with the government defending the vaccine's efficacy.
We've been able to pay more university staff their gross salary for September, but we've not managed to pay them for October, and the discussion was around them going back to work as we attend to the current problem.
And Education Ministry says the country cannot afford the 8.7 billion shillings demand by more university lecturers to implement a return to work deal. Many thanks for making time for us. I'm Doreen Arange, and Wangeshi is our sign language interpreter. And now the United States Ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, has resigned. Although she did not openly outline the reasons for her resignation, Whitman alluded to the just concluded U.S. elections that saw Donald Trump emerge victorious. The resignation puts to an end her 2-year stint at the helm of the U.S. Embassy in Kenya since her appointment by the outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden.
In August 2022, Meg Whitman started her tenure as the United States envoy in Kenya, taking over from Kyle McCarter. Days after the United States went to the polls and the Republican candidate Donald Trump emerged victorious, Meg Whitman has tendered her resignation to President Joe Biden. Her resignation statement read in part, and I quote, "Just like all U.S. ambassadors, I serve at the request of the President. The American people have spoken, and a new president will be inaugurated in January. I wish him and his new team success." End of quote. Whitman outlined some of her achievements under the U.S. government while in Kenya, including delivering emergency funding to alleviate catastrophic flooding in 2023 to the ongoing fight against malaria, HIV, and Mpox. She also cited the recent elevation of Kenya by the U.S. as its first major NATO ally in sub-Saharan Africa. Whitman also noted that her efforts also opened the door for more American companies to do business in Kenya. Meanwhile, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed businessman Elon Musk alongside Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. The role is aimed at creating a more efficient government by dismantling government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditure, and restructure federal agencies. Nancy Kware, Prime Edition.
To some bit of politics now. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has dared ODM party to bolt out of the Azimio la Umoja coalition if it so wishes, saying other allied parties within the coalition are there to stay. His allies have also hinted at a formation of a coalition with the Mount Kenya region ahead of 2027 general election. Kalonzo spoke when he received the Peace Ambassador of the Year award from the National Community-Based Organizations Council.
Political realignments in the country are seemingly in the offing. Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka signaling an alliance with Mount Kenya political bigwigs a month after former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was removed from office.
Others come, others leave. Because Kenya Kwanza want to force everybody into one party, right? We want Kenyans to know there's space in our side of the coalition.
Kalonzo, who veered off the question on his perceived dalliance with Gachagua, instead stated the Constitution guarantees freedom of association, a sentiment backed by his Mount Kenya allies.
People must be free to associate without, being insensitive. The time for hard talk is coming.
We need a leader who is going to restore this country back to the rule of law. And that leader, in my own view, and in the view of the majority of the Kenyans, is you, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka.
Na tunakwambia vile unaongeaga tu pole tu kama Kibaki. Hiyo ndio tunataka. Hatutaki watu wa kupiga kelele. Hawa kujipiga kifua tumeona wanaumiza wananchi.
Your commitment to peacemaking must never be mistaken for cowardice, because it is not.
Appearing to throw a jab at Raila Odinga-led ODM party, Kalonzo also vowed to stay in the Azimio coalition, saying those who have found a new home are free to bolt out.
I don't think that DAP has given notice, or Wiper, or Jubilee. No. So, Chris, just report that nobody is walking out from this side.
This comes months after Martha Karua's NARC Kenya exited the coalition outfit. The opposition leaders also vowed to sustain pressure on the government to account for the killings and the abductions of especially the Gen Z protesters.
We did tell them last year that please drop this finance bill. They did not listen to us, and it costed lives. 75 died last year, over 60 died this year, and bringing back this finance bill is like bringing back the storm.
Peace goes hand in hand with justice. There has to be justice too for peace to be there. People have been murdered. Our comrades, the 60+ people who have been murdered, people are kidnapped, they are abducted every single day, and nothing happens.
Give us in Minor, Prime Edition.
The government has directed striking Moi University staff to return to work, saying it will not allow the university to collapse. Education CS Migos Ogamba revealed the government is exploring ways to resolve the standoff between management and the staff amicably. Speaking on Wednesday during the launch of the Commission for University Education Strategic Plan, the CS said currently the government cannot afford to raise 8.7 billion shillings for full implementation of the 2021-2025 collective bargaining agreement as demanded by the Dons.
With the deepening crisis at Moi University seemingly far from over, the Ministry of Education is urging the over 3,000 striking workers to return to work following a court decision that the month-long industrial action is illegal. Education CS Migos Ogamba says the government has already paid the workers' September salaries, even as it grapples with clearing the 8.7 billion shillings the institution accrued as debt.
We've been able to pay Moi University staff their gross salary for September, but we've not managed to pay them for October. And the discussion was around them going back to work as we attend to the current problems that it has, to the previous problems that existed, so that we have a sustainable plan.
Here we have our official strategic plan.
The CS spoke during the launch of the Commission for University Education's ambitious strategic plan 2024-2028. He further challenged vice chancellors to ensure accountability in the use of funds as the government works to eliminate debt in universities.
The resources that we get, we must be accountable to them, and we must utilize them for the purpose for which they are given. And when you are held responsible for being unaccountable, do not blame anybody when the law catches up with you.
He also implored universities to strengthen their governance structures, embrace data-driven decision-making, and align their curriculum with the competence-based education system. Speaking at the same time, Professor Chacha Nyagoti Chacha, chairman of the Commission for University Education, emphasized the importance of quality, relevance and sustainability in shaping the future of university education.
And we are going to be using this roadmap to ensure that the universities are offering programs of quality and that they are focusing on how to prepare and produce the best quality of human resource capital for the development of our nation.
Joseph Wahungu for Prime Edition.
Human rights defenders are faulting the state for what they say is deliberately delaying the probe on the serial murders at Kware dump site in Mukuru, Kwanjenga. Led by Haki Africa, the civil rights group singled out the failure by the state to arrest the prime suspect, one Collins Jumaisi, who remains a fugitive of the law after escaping from police custody in unclear circumstances. John Kahiro with the details of demands for resumption of the exercise to unearth bodies believed to still be trapped in the quarry, and the push for justice for families of the victims.
Approximately 4 months after the shocking discovery of the mutilated female bodies at the Kware dump site in Mukuru, Kwanjenga, civil societies are demanding answers on the status of apprehending the prime suspect. Led by Haki Africa's Rapid Response Officer Frederick Ojiro, the defenders are reading mischief in the disappearance of the main suspect from police custody, even as they decried the slow pace in resolving the murder cases.
The government have decided to sleep on investigations and try to close the file. And as human rights defenders, we demand that that file should be reopened.
This as the divers who retrieved the bodies from the quarry accused the national and Nairobi county governments of failing to provide physical and psychological support during and after the traumatizing exercise as they waded through the murky, contaminated waters to retrieve the bodies.
Counseling. That process yote hizo bodies zote tumetoa. Nobody has come atuambie tunataka kuwa cancel ama tuwa nini. Traumatize, kutoa bodies 18, unazifungua, ukiziangalia, zote zimekatakatwa. Unaweza imagine that process.
Tulikuwa tu tunang'ang'ana, tunajanga, hadi kamba. Tulikuwa tunajanga sisi, tunajangiwa na society hivi, tunanunua kamba.
Additionally, they allege harassment and intimidation, with some expressing fear for their lives.
Tukapata pia manguo, na tukatoa zote hata tukitarajia DCI watafanya investigation. Watuambie ni nini imeendelea, lakini badala ya wale kuendelea kusaidiana na sisi ikakuwa ni vitisho. Tukitoa mili pale tunapigiwa mpaka ma life bullets, tunatishiwa maisha, tukai na amani. Unapata hata wewe mwenyewe unakaa hivi lakini hauna amani, unatishwa.
They also called on the government to reach out to families of the victims who are yet to be buried due to financial constraints.
Families of individuals that were found in Kware also demand answers. In fact, we are also concerned that even those families that came forward and say that we lost our loved ones and, DNA tests were taken, they were only reported to verbally. No report was given to them, even in terms of the DNA report or autopsy report.
At the same time, they want the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to comb the dump site for any more bodies.
And maybe there are still more bodies there in Kware. Can you go and clear Kware? Yani isafishe majeshi yende pale isafishe hapo na hapo mahali patengenezwe.
We call upon the Director of Homicide, Mr. Martin, please consider the lives of human beings that are being mentioned to be lying there.
John Kahiro, Prime Edition.
Right, time for me to now press pause on this live broadcast. We'll recall it plenty more, including business and sports. Stay with us.
Wewe bro, nipatie hiyo risiti ya items. Wazi wazi.
Cheki mimi sina do hizo nafuka.
Excuse, niletee risiti yangu ya items. Asante.
pesa ngapi?
3,000.
Hebu nisaidie na ile receipt ya e-teams.
Nimeshinda mili. I'm the latest millionaire. Marry me, baby.
Yes! Guys, nimeshinda laptop. Nimeshinda TV 50 inches.
Nice na Risiti Legit promotion kutoka KRA. Download Risiti Legit app, scan QR code kwenye risiti yako, ujishindie zawadi kem kila wiki. Kuna grand prize ya milioni 3 kwa washindi watatu, milioni kila mmoja.
Rahisisha uwezo wako wa ushindi kwa kukuwa memba wa Loto Moto, na ni rahisi. Dial *570#. Ukiwa memba ni rahisi kufika kwenye jukwaa hili ili kujaribu mchezo wetu wa Loto Moto Show. Na pia kama memba unajipa nafasi rahisi ya kuingia kwenye promotion zetu zinazokupa nafasi ya kujishindia chapaa na zawadi kibao kama TV, friji, pikipiki, mashamba na pia magari. Kuwa memba ni *570#. Tushinde kama members.
Her efforts in promoting gender equality and inclusivity is second to none, and it's very testament in the work that she does and the projects that she's involved in.
Senator Hamida Kibwana, nominated senator for Nairobi. You talk about nominated, there's no difference of nominated and elected when you get to that house. You really have to have a heart to fight all this. You know, you have to have the will and power. See 2/3 tu mtuangalie muingize kitu yoyote ya wanawake ndani so that we can garner. And to be honest, let me tell you, for me to be nominated, I hold my head high. You know, take care of yourselves. The other thing, don't rush for, material thing. Our girls nowadays, niko na mbabas. Why would you think that only men can do that? And some of us didn't grow to that. And where can't I take myself now?
Just do it quickly and painless.
Watu wangapi wanajua hii maneno?
Ni yeye, mimi na wewe tu.
Hiki tunataka iwe kati yangu na wewe.
Nishapata solution ile job. Ngapi tunajimu, hauniambii, zikisha backfire na sio nikumbuka. Let's go, toka. Sasa mkuja kunipigia simu, hii si nyumba yako. Twende. Ni poa kama hawa, wakute mapema before wakukute.
Tamaliza kabla hajatumaliza.
Kabla umfikie. Na kwa nilisha kama za kitambo.
You're not ready for what's coming your way.
You know what? Jackie needs to be taught a lesson. Jackie needs to be taught how to shut up.
Nini? Ndamaliza mmoja kwa mwingine.
Thank you.
For what?
For being the voice of reason when I need it.
Welcome back. This is Prime Edition. And now to some health matters. The polio vaccination drive by the government ended Wednesday with 3.6 million of the 4.2 million children targeted for immunization receiving the vaccine. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni said this represented 86% of the targeted group, even as she dismissed claims the vaccine was unsafe for children. Meanwhile, the National Vaccine Safety Advisory Committee has faulted international health lobby groups for what they say is an attempt to derail the vaccination campaign.
The second round of the 5-day polio vaccination campaign, which kicked off from 9th of this month, came to a close Wednesday, with the Ministry of Health optimistic of the number of children immunized. According to the Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni, the vaccine was safe and the process of administration was above board. The PS also urged parents to seek immediate medical attention in the event their children develop side effects.
So yesterday, we have been able to vaccinate way over 3.6 million children, and that is 86% of the expected target. We expected to vaccinate 4.2 million children, and we aim to reach 95% by the close of business today. I want to assure you that all vaccines that are offered by the Ministry of Health are tested to be safe, effective, and they are approved by the World Health Organization.
Similar sentiments were echoed by the National Vaccine Safety Advisory Committee Chairman Ezekiel Masibo. He condemned those who he says are spreading misinformation and disinformation to discourage vaccine uptake.
So I encourage you, do not be victims of fear. There are people who have feared, and we have people who, for reasons I don't know, who lobby and seem to advocate false information about the danger of vaccines. Trouble is, if your child gets the polio we're talking about and gets paralyzed, that lobbyist will not be with you.
This comes as concerns were raised last week on the safety of the vaccine following the death of 2 children after being immunized in the first round of immunization. The ministry has since attributed their death as coincidental and not as a result of the vaccine. Joseph Wahungu for Prime Edition.
Now, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has criticized the Social Health Authority Board for its failure to register over 1,000 health facilities that offer primary health care across the country and which are manned by clinical officers. Speaking during the Kenya Clinical Officers Association Scientific Conference in Mombasa County, National Chairman Peterson Washira noted that the health centers which fall under the Kenya Clinical Officers Council were previously accredited by the defunct National Health Insurance Fund. KUCO at the same time claims that the rollout of SHA has been rushed and wants the transition to take at least 6 months to avoid the current crisis in the health sector.
The implementation of the new Social Health Authority has continued to face setbacks, with the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers National Chairman Peterson Washira faulting the Social Health Authority Board for failing to register more than 1,000 health facilities. Washira accuses the Social Health Authority Board of discriminating against the said facilities, which are under the Kenya Clinical Officers Council that offer primary health care across the country, and recognizing only hospitals registered under the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council.
Kuna Wakenya zaidi ya milioni 4.5 ambao wametoa nje ya hii bima. Hawawezi wakapata zile huduma za afya chini ya SHA wakati tunaongea hapa. Kwa sababu kuna hospitali zaidi ya 1,000 ambazo zilikuwa zimeweza zikaratibiwa na NHIF, lakini sasa hazijaratibiwa, hazioni Wakenya kutumia hii bima ya afya, na wale Wakenya pale nje wanaumia. Na ndio unaona hata usajili unakuwa chini. Kwa sababu Mkenya anajiuliza, hii ilikuwa ni hospitali yangu, imenyimwa ile kandarasi, hawawezi wakatumia SHA kunipatia ile huduma. Mbona naambiwa nijisajili na ile bima haitanisaidia?
Washira further noted the exclusion has impacted hundreds of patients who have requested authorization to get specialized services from facilities run by clinical officers.
Kuna wagonjwa zaidi ya 500 ambao walikuwa wanangoja kufanyiwa cataract surgeries, hawawezi wakazipata. Kuna wale walikuwa na mashida ya koo, mashida ya masikio, mashida ya mapua, ambao walifaa kuonekana na kuweza kupata zile huduma, ambao hawawezi wakazipata kwa sababu ya utekelezaji ambao unaenda kinyume na sheria pale kwa SHA board.
The union now says it will write a petition to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate into the alleged vested interests at the Social Health Authority Board.
Tungetaka kujulisha rais ya kwamba wale watu wamepatia hii kazi, kuna watu wameleta ubinafsi na ufisadi na wanafanya Mkenya wa kawaida asiweze akapata ile huduma. Na kwa hivyo ni lazima ile board iko aidha iache kutelekeza wengine, kufanya discrimination kwa hospitali zingine. Kama hawawezi wakafanya, mimi nitamuomba rais aweze kudisband hiyo board, tupatiwe watu ambao wako ready kufanya kazi, watu ambao hawana ubinafsi.
For Prime Edition, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
The National Police Service has scaled up its response to mental health challenges following the rollout of a psychosocial support program. Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, launching the training program, said the platform will offer an opportunity for those in police service to receive timely counseling services whenever they face traumatic events while in the line of duty. This as the IG read the Riot Act to perpetrators of femicide following an influx in such cases.
Police officers led by Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja convened for the launch of the new psychosocial support training program developed in collaboration with the Africa International University and the Disability Mainstreaming Foundation of Kenya. The program is designed to improve mental health awareness among security officers in the wake of studies that show law enforcement officers are at a greater risk of depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and even suicide.
We also want those services to be led by officers who are also well-grounded in terms of training, whose mental health is also good. And that is the reason why I decided that we need to partner with other stakeholders, because we cannot achieve that alone.
Kanja stated while police work is a noble profession, it exposes officers to traumatic experiences, from violent crimes to accidents, which often lead to long-term psychological trauma.
The National Police Service Commission is not doing its work. It has done a lot. It has employed many counsellors and psychosocial support teams who are also going to work together with the university and support our teams out there.
He revealed the new program is expected to address mental health challenges within the National Police Service.
That is the reason why we are working very, very closely with the Disability Mainstreaming Foundation, together with the African International University, so that we can be able to provide training for our officers and ensure that they are fine.
We want to bring on board all partners that are available possible to give you support, Bwana IG, in your desire to mainstream mental health within the forces.
National Police Service Commission Chairperson Eliud Kinuthia reaffirmed their commitment to enhance access to mental health resources and partnerships among police officers.
In the National Police Service Commission, we assessed the magnitude of the problem that we have in this area. We looked at the strains, and as an employer, we prioritized counselors and psychosocial support.
At the same time, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation said they will take decisive action to ensure perpetrators of femicide and murder are brought to book.
For the latest one in Kasarani is in custody, and that person, I believe, must have been arraigned before court this morning, but we shall apply for custodial sentence because still we are progressing with investigations. So ours is to put to notice these people who are hell-bent on killing our women, killing our men, killing our mothers and children. We will be able to get all of them very, very soon.
In Baringo County, a 25-year-old man has been arrested for the brutal murder of his 21-year-old wife in a bizarre incident that has left residents of Kasisit in that particular county in shock. Dennis Kipsang is accused of poisoning and then strangling his wife Sharon, after which he locked her body in a room for 5 days. The couple, who shares a young child, had been embroiled in a tumultuous relationship marred by allegations of infidelity, leading to a tragic conclusion that has left the community reeling.
In a chilling incident that has sent shockwaves through the community of Kasisit in Baringo North, a husband stands accused of murdering his wife Sharon in a horrific act of betrayal. For 5 agonizing days, Sharon's lifeless body lay undiscovered in their home, locked away by her husband Dennis Kipsang. Authorities allege that on the fateful night, Dennis attempted to poison Sharon, but when the poison failed to take effect, he resorted to a more brutal method, strangling her with a rope.
Tukaona ni kama kamba kwa shingo. Ako chini na hiyo kamba yake ako chini. Tukasema amusi ni kusema huyu mtu amenyonga.
Nilimwambia sasa uliua, niliua. Na hii mama ulikutana wapi? Ati tunakutana Trimioni Kipsikar, alafu sina kuja na yeye.
The grim discovery was made only after neighbors, disturbed by a foul odor emanating from the house, broke a window to uncover the tragic scene within.
Harufu ilikuwa imetoka nje sasa. Tukashangaa, huyu ilisemekana alienda na tangu isemekana alipiti hapo. hajaonekana.
As the community grapples with the shocking reality of the crime, whispers of infidelity and betrayal swirl in the air.
Baada ya kushuhudia ya kuwa naye mke wake huyo mpendwa yuko pale kwa askari, alichukua virago vyake na akapeleka hadi kule. Sasa sikuelewa kabisa ya kuwa ni namna gani vile yule mwanamke tena alirudi wapi kwa nyumba ya huyu kijana.
Hata mimi kama mwanamke nimehofia sasa maisha yangu. Nimehofia sana. Unaona uko kwa nyumba ya wenyewe, lakini hata vitu zingine atuelewi, lakini ni jambo la kusitikisha kweli. Wamama wameuawa kweli. Na tunaomba haki yetu tuipate.
Baringo North Sub-County Police Commander Mohamed Abdi confirmed that an investigation is underway as the community demands justice for the young mother.
Walikuwa wanakaa pamoja, tunajua mambo ya mapenzi, labda mambo ikaharibika. So labda hii jamaa mwanaume akaona kama amwezi wacha hiyo bibi yake hivyo, hiyo rafiki yake hivyo. Ikawa hatujui ndani sana, lakini zaidi uchunguzi inaendelea. Tujue ukweli kwa wapi na nini hasa ilifanyika.
Dennis remains in custody at Cabernet Police Station, while Sharon's body has been transferred to the Baringo County Referral Mortuary. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
The National Treasury and the Unclaimed Financial Assets Agency are set to appear before the National Assembly Finance Committee to justify a legislative proposal that seeks to give claimant power to designate the payment of a claim to another person. The MPs stood down the management of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Agency after they failed to defend the government bill. The MPs now want Treasury to appear alongside the agency to clarify the import of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Amendment Bill that is currently being considered by the National Assembly.
Any matters that would want to be prosecuted further, because when we had mentioned that we had other areas that we would have wished to be considered at a later date, we would still involve our ministry, which is the National Treasury, and on this matter, even on this, allow us to engage further so that we'll be able to give submissions as we have said earlier, that we would give a written submission after this sitting. Thank you.
And I agree with them that this is not their bill, this is not their amendment. But they also said earlier, if I remember, that they are also proposing other amendments which they are going to discuss with the Treasury. So my proposal is that they go and discuss. Also discuss this one, they come here with the Treasury to do the presentation.
For time, because once we give you the invitation, we believe you should have consulted with your foreign ministry and we come up with a position that is harmonized. The way I think I agree with the members that you are running away from this bill. Yeah? You are dissociating yourself from the bill.
Ungependa kuwa mshindi na Lucky Box? Ni rahisi sana.
Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Kuna vitu vingi sana vya kushinda.
Kama vile TV, kuka, washing machine, fridge, kipiki, pesa na hata gari. Na sio gari tu, Subaru.
Na kuna jackpots kadha wa kadha. Kuna power jackpot ya 1.9 million.
Mega jackpot 2.5 million.
Na Super Sunday ya 3 million Kenya shillings. Kila mtu anaweza kuwa mshindi. Bonyeza *463#. Uwe mshindi.
Kuchagua box ni kuchagua chapa.
Kumbuka
Kumbuka, kila unapocheza Lucky Box, unasaidia watoto kusoma.
Mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Alhamisi tarehe 14 Novemba, msafara wetu utang'oa nanga Thika, maeneo ya Times Tower, Ruiru, Kimbo, Kenyatta Road, Juja Wetevye, Jomoko, Gatitu, Thika mjini, Engen, Makongeni na Kisii Estate. Kisha tutatembelea maeneo ya Juja Road, Eastleigh, Shauri Moyo, Majengo, Bahati, Kariobangi, Fedha, Pipeline, Kayole, Dandora, Mwiki, Kasarani, Roysambu, Githurai, Kahawa West na Zimmerman, Ijumaa tarehe 15 Novemba mwaka 2024. Jumamosi tarehe 16 Novemba tutakuwa Kangemi, Odhiru, Kinoo, Wangige, Kikuyu, Dagoretti, Satellite, Nairobi West, South C, South B, Ngong Road, Kibera, Karen, Ngong na Rongai. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Welcome back, and now to our weekly feature, Cinemas and Theatre. Dance theatre is a unique art form that blends elements of dance, drama, and music to create a captivating and immersive experience for audiences. It differs from traditional dance by placing a stronger emphasis on storytelling and emotional expression rather than solely focusing on movement and technique. Tonight on Cinemas and Theatre, we focus on a dance theatre group, Ballet Soul from the UK and Unlock Arts Kenya, that is performing at the ongoing 9th edition of the Kenya International Theatre Festival.
The dance theatre group Ballet Souls from UK and Unlock Arts Kenya captivated audiences with their latest dance theatre piece inspired by the legendary West African folktales of Anansi the Spider. The dance blend classical ballet, contemporary dance and jazz, set to the iconic music of Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. The production that is part of the ongoing 9th edition of Kenya International Theatre Festival tells the story of Anansi's quest for wisdom.
I take stories from Africa, folk stories, and adapt them to the contemporary audience in the UK, folk stories. We have a big African and Caribbean population in the UK, and I think they need something a little bit different from the normal classical ballet fairy tales like Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty. So we have our own folk stories here in Africa. So Trickster is all based on Anansi the Spider. And I've just adapted it a little bit for Kenya and made it the Trickster is the catalyst of the 3 sacrifice with the mask.
Benjamin Love, the dance group choreographer, noted that the dance group had only 2 weeks to learn the complex choreography, adding that despite that, they delivered a performance that was both technically impressive and emotionally resonant.
But I already had the choreography in my mind back in London. When I was on the plane flying, I was choreographing. in my head. So already I knew the structure of one, but I didn't know what dances I would have here. I think it's very important for dancers to tell a story, obviously through physical and facial. And I think it's just a challenge for them that when they're dancing, they still have to connect with the audience through the face. It's very important that, they connect. And the acting side, it was very hard for them, but, because they just used to just dance without connecting this to the audience. So that's why I had to kind of make sure that everything that they're doing on the stage, that every movement is connected to the audience. It's very important.
Ben was supposed to come earlier, I think last month, so that we start by doing workshops, dance, get people used to the technique. But now he came like 2 weeks ago. We had to push ourselves. The choreos were a bit complex because, as you see, he's focused more on technique, so they were a bit so technical than what people do here, like Africa, and so I think it was a bit technical, but people have pushed themselves. So it's a good experience because as much as you're performing, you're also learning.
The production's innovative use of music and movement created a powerful and immersive experience. Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, with its raw and primal energy, provided the perfect backdrop of Anansi's mischievous antics and his ultimate triumph.
Rite of Spring is Stravinsky's music, and it's been used a lot, and it's got elements of depth and classical contemporary, and it's got sacrifice and dance of the earth, and it's very African. For me, it's very African. The boom, 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 that drumming, that deepness, for me. Yeah, I had to pick this song because I think it's just related to what we were doing, and also you can tell a story. The movement, there's down, there's the top half, there's middle, and there's down, and the movement is a romantic side to it. There's a very passionate and energetic side of it, and also there's that beautiful scene with the girl dancing with a politician. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. The jazz, I wanted just to break it up, add a little bit of kind of sassy to it, make the girls enjoy the dance.
Dance theatre is a unique art form that blends elements of dance, drama, and music to create a captivating and immersive experience for audiences. Jacqueline Masharia for Cinemas and Theatre.
Are you thinking about your future? Saving through a registered retirement benefits plan offers amazing benefits that make a difference when it matters most. A registered retirement benefits plan allows you to save up to 20,000 shillings every month tax-free. And investment income from a pension scheme is tax exempt, meaning your money grows even faster, especially when you add the compound interest. Your retirement benefits provide a basic, reasonable income after your working life, preventing old age poverty and offering contingency funds in cases of ill health, death, or other disruptions. It acts as a safety net upon loss of employment, like during the COVID-19 pandemic, and offers financial protection to your dependents. Plus, it can cover post-retirement medical costs, one of the biggest expenses for retirees. Secure your future and enjoy your retirement to the fullest with a registered pension plan. Plan today for a brighter tomorrow. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Christmas imefika na zawadi zake zimefika, na kama wewe ni memba wa Loto usiogope, itisha tutakufikishia. Nini unataka ikuwe ni yako ama ya mwenzako? Dial *570#, chagua option 5 uwe memba, alafu tuma ujumbe mfupi kwa 40090. Weka wishlist yako. Nini unataka? Unataka fridge, unataka microwave, unataka pikipiki, unataka baiskeli, unamtakia mwenzako mbuzi? Tuma! Christmas hii Santa yuko na zawadi ziko kibao. Wapi ombi lako kuwa memba, kisha 40090. Tuma your wish list. Unatamani nini Christmas hii?
The crack to business news, standing in for my colleague Wairimu Njenga. And our plans are underway to invest 1 billion shillings in the Coffee Research Institute to double coffee seedlings production. Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says the target is to increase coffee production as well as develop sustainable varieties, translating to higher yields.
According to the latest data on coffee consumption, currently, globally coffee drinking averages 2.3 billion cups per day, and statistics project that it could double in the next 25 years. The projected supply gap has left the coffee value chain scrambling for possible fixes, including non-Arabica coffee species and caffeine-infused alternatives. In Kenya, plans are underway to increase coffee production from the current 51,853 tons to 54,800 tons by extending support services to farmers.
The strategic plan 2023-2027 lays out a comprehensive roadmap for building a resilient and prosperous coffee industry. Together, we can sustain Kenya coffee legacy, boost productivity, and uplift the livelihood of our farmers and communities.
The Coffee Research Institute has been tasked to leverage partnerships to develop climate-smart and disease-resistant coffee varieties to boost yields.
What subsidies do we need to increase our average productivity from 2 kgs per bush to 25 and say that so that we can harvest, we can have these benefits of 1 trillion.
We need actually to empower Coffee Research Institute, because like now, new technologies that are coming up are the ones that are going to help us to make sure that our farmers are able to increase the production.
Oparanya says a dividend policy for cooperatives is being developed to ensure no cooperative borrows to pay dividends or declares dividends when they have made losses.
To this end, the spirit of cooperative movement, service to members, as opposed to profiteering, must be preserved.
Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Emerging technologies, particularly artificial intelligence and machine learning, are set to impact 14% of formal jobs, while as much as 32% of skilled and middle-skilled labor requiring reskill to remain competitive. Inua AI CEO Humphrey Muchuma says there is need for targeted training to equip digital workers with high-demand skills to ensure that more people have access to well-paying jobs.
Kenya's digital economy is estimated to reach 662 billion shillings by the year 2028, according to a GSMA report. With this rapid growth, demand for highly specialized skills in areas such as artificial intelligence, data analytics, software development, and cybersecurity is surging. However, most of the current workforce are not adequately preparing for the change in skills demand.
32% of what you'd consider skilled to mid-skilled labor is going to need significant either retooling, reskilling, or upskilling in order for them to then continue to have relevance to the market.
ChatGPT is taking over. You can actually write codes using ChatGPT. It can actually do 90% of the code if you program it really well and tell it what you want it to do. So what is the 10%? That is what we need to be focusing on. That is where the industry players need to focus on.
They argue that the path to a competitive and inclusive digital economy lies in its ability to reduce work polarization as well as incorporate emerging technologies and modernize the education system to address the skills needs in the job market.
We do not have our own either structures or our own platforms. So one of the ways that people can support, and this is probably for entrepreneurs in Kenya and policymakers, is to facilitate the development of Kenya-owned platforms where people can be able to get a decent pay, something more like a Kenyan solution for a Kenyan unemployment problem.
We need to start doing the research, building the quantitative data, and now beginning to build, or using that to build a qualitative analysis that would then inform the policy as well as some of the key changes that need to start happening, for example, even in the education sector.
Maybe, just like we have in high school, they finish their courses within 3 years, the fourth year is just revision. Now, instead of doing the revision piece in campus or tertiary institutions, they are positioning these people in the digital space, telling them how to go to the market, what kind of certification they need to get into to do, having opportunities in internships.
Trevor Ngindo for Prime Edition.
We have sports news coming up next with Daniel Ohome, who's on standby. But before we get to do that, to our last business story this evening, there is need to step up sensitization of Kenyans about financial well-being to empower them navigate the changing and tough economic environment. Old Mutual Training Executive Clarice Wanyanga says individuals are facing economic challenges as most companies slash salaries or them stagnant while business face reduced revenue. Wanyanga says financial awareness will help households and enterprises realize financial independence.
So one of the areas that Kenyans are struggling with is that most of us are in a sandwich generation. So sandwich generation means that I'm not only taking care of me, I take care of me, young people, and even older people. That because of the influence of how we are socialized to pay black tax. So out of most Kenyans' income.
So one of the things I've seen about SMEs and a mistake they make when it comes to financial management is SMEs approach their business as an adventure. You know, it's exciting, it's something that they like doing.
We're seeing a lot of uptake of medical cover by the people who are not in employment, and particularly the elderly. We are seeing the uptake of post-retirement medical covers by individuals who are working, saving towards their retirement, one, and also for having funds enough to purchase a medical cover in retirement.
kuwa mshindi na Lucky Box? Ni rahisi sana.
Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Kuna vitu vingi sana vya kushinda.
Kama vile TV, kuka, washing machine, fridge, kipiki, pesa na hata gari. Na sio gari tu, Subaru.
Na kuna jackpots kadha wa kadha. Kuna power jackpot ya 1.9 million.
Mega jackpot 2.5 million.
Na Super Sunday ya 3 million Kenya shillings. Kila mtu anaweza kuwa mshindi. Bonyeza *463#. Uwe mshindi.
Kuchagua box ni kuchagua chapa.
Kumbuka, kila unapocheza Lucky Box unasaidia watoto kusoma.
Is going to be the best AFCON in the history of African football.
Kenya and Zimbabwe will lock horns in a must-win qualifying match for the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. Currently, Cameroon lead Group J. Zimbabwe are second on 8 points. Kenya third on 4 points, and Namibia tail the group. Follow this match live from the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane, South Africa. Live this Friday, the 15th of November 2024 at 7 p.m. on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Prime Edition Sport. Now, the Kenya Simba's head coach Jerome Power has named a squad of 25 players who will face the Uganda Rugby Cranes this Saturday in the return leg of the Elgin Cup, where they determined to come out victorious. Hilary Mwanjiliwa of Kabras Sugar has been brought in to replace Ernest Obat Kuke, who could not travel to Uganda because of academic commitments. Tadia Kala of Kabras Sugar and Belda Dogeta of Menengai Oilers, who missed out during the first leg, have been added to the travelling team. Majority of the players who are retrained are drawn from Kabras Sugar, KCB and Menengai Oilers, and they include, among others, Ephraim Uduor, Barry Young, Griffin Musila, Tyson Minor, Ibrahim Ayo, Samson Onsomu, Timothy Omela, Paul Mutsami of Kenya Harlequins. The Simbas, who arrived in Kampala this morning, beat the Uganda Cranes 27-25 in the first leg of the Elgin Cup at the RFEA grounds last weekend, and will be looking forward to retain the prestigious trophy this Saturday at King's Park in Kampala, Uganda. A restructured partnership agreement with the Kenya Rugby Union to support the men's national rugby sevens team, the Shujaa. The sponsorship deal, which is worth 84.15 million shillings, is a 2-year contract.
The restructured sponsorship deal worth 84.15 million Kenya shillings will cover Shujaa salaries and other expenses and provide sustainable support as they prepare for their highly anticipated return to the HSBC World 7 Series, which kicks off in Dubai at the end of this month, among others. Speaking at the handover ceremony, SportPesa CEO Captain Ronald Garauri said the partnership underscores SportPesa's dedication to supporting the national sevens through KRU to make sure the sport is monetized.
Today I stand here proud and happy that this team actually worked hard enough to make it back to the 7th circuit, qualified for the Olympics, and even though we've always said as sponsorship, it's about branding the teams and taking our brand worldwide and to the next level. SportPesa, our partnerships always are to improve the team.
So I think it's been a long journey. 2024 has been very eventful. 2023 saw the build-up of it. We were here with the SportPesa Sevens, a massive success that saw again development of the game right from the grassroots.
In the renewed partnership, Shujaa will receive 33 million Kenya shillings in the 2024-2025 season, while 49 million Kenyan shillings will be used to support their other exploits in the 2025-2026 season. The remaining balance will go towards prize money for the SportPesa National 7 Circuit in the second half of 2025. KRU President Sasha Mutai thanked SportPesa for their continued support, saying they will give them value for their money.
So I'd like to thank SportPesa for standing by Kenya Rugby and Shujaa. As Tio has said, I don't want to repeat too much, but it's been a long journey. Today you see an enhanced sponsorship, and it's a partnership. Of course, it's better than last year's, and for us, it's all about getting this team to achieve what it can.
For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Moy.
Now, the World Women's Marathon record holder Ruth Chepngetich is the winner of the LGS Sports Personality of the Month of October. Chepngetich stood out on the 13th of October when she set a new women's world record in the 46th edition of the Chicago Marathon, where she clocked 2 hours 9 minutes 56 seconds to become the first woman to run the marathon in under 2 hours 10 minutes. The three-time Chicago Marathon winner was awarded a 55-inch LG television set worth 176,000 shillings by LG head of corporate marketing Jane Kariuki during a ceremony held at the Nyayo National Stadium. Ruth Chepngetich is the only Kenyan athlete who has been retained in the final list of the 2024 World Athletics Awards in the out-of-stadia category. She had been nominated in the LG SJAC Monthly Award alongside Kenya Under-20 star Aldrin Kibet, Kenya 7 speedster Patrick Odongo, cricket all-rounder Rakeb Patel, and Joyce Njero, who is the first African woman to win the overall Golden Trail World Series title.
Where we do business and recognizing talent, and over 10 years that's why we have partnered with SJAC. The person we are awarding today is none other than Ruth Chepngetich. We are very proud of the records that she holds and the records that she's broken.
I'm so happy for this award of today. This is the third time I've been awarded. Each and every time when I think about being awarded, it makes me to work more harder for the best.
Now, the Standard Chartered Cup Futsal Tournament is back this year and will take place on the 30th of November at the Kenya School of Monetary Studies. The 7th edition of the five-a-side futsal tournament was launched today as the bank celebrates its partnership with Liverpool FC and will involve 40 teams who will battle it out for the ultimate prize, which is an all-expenses-paid trip to Anfield, the home of Liverpool FC. The tournament will involve a round-robin format in the group stage before the top two teams advance to the knockout stages. The Standard Chartered Cup is a competitive but fun 10-minute-a-side, five-a-side futsal invitational tournament involving amateur teams.
Happy to the community through our soccer clinics that we do. They also support our goal program, which looks after, actually focuses on adolescent girls and youth.
And the FKF Men's Premier League defending champions Gor Mahia have terminated the contract of their head coach Leo Neva with immediate effect. The decision comes after the club's management invoked a contractual clause leading to the end of the coach's tenure. The dismissal comes after a string of poor results, which has seen Gor Mahia lose 2 matches against Nairobi City Stars and Bandari FC, while being held to a 2-all draw by Morangasil, with chaotic scenes that saw Coach Neva being attacked by angry fans. Zedekiah Otieno and Michael Nam will now act as the interim coaches as the club looks for another tactician. Meanwhile, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon were held to a goalless draw by Namibia in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers to confirm their place at the tournament in Morocco next year as Namibia picked up their first point in the qualies. The next group match in Group J will feature Kenya's Harambee Stars in a must-win match against Zimbabwe on Friday in Polokwane, South Africa. The team jetted to South Africa on Monday, where they stepped up their preparations for the crucial encounter, where they were joined by goalkeeper Brian Bwire and Daniel Sakari, who is a defender, who replaced Ian Otieno and Adam Wilson, respectively. The match will be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1 from 7 p.m. and broadcast live on 7 affiliate radio stations. And that's the sport for tonight. And remember that tomorrow, all eyes on Harambee Stars' preparations for their match against Zimbabwe. But now we've got the FKF county level elections. That's our focus for tomorrow. Over the next 2 days, we'll be telling you who the 47 chairmen are after the elections take place. My name is Daniel Wahome. Back to you, Doreen Arange.
All right, and that's where we put a cap to this live broadcast. But before I get to do that, also it's a good place for me to just let you in on what has happened along Kakamega Kisumu Road, where an accident has occurred there and 10 persons have lost their lives while 20 others are injured. As we speak, this particular vehicles that were involved in that accident are still at the scene of crime, which were 2 matatus, one carrying an unknown number of passengers and the other carrying 14 passengers. Details of this will continue following in our various other subsequent bulletins. This has been Prime Edition. I'm Doreen Arange, and Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter. Good night.